is we have these huge characters that, we can kind of get lost in, that we follow and we get behind, or, we love to boo them, whatever the case may be, but they're characters. I mean, backstage, these guys are friends just like we all are. Your friend just died.
I was going to say, I think Steve Austin and Owen, Owen actually were decently tight, right?
Yeah.
Because I know Steve, he really liked working with Brett a lot, and of course they have arguably maybe one of the best matches ever at WrestleMania 13. And then Austin worked with Owen a little bit too, but I remember kind of seeing some stuff on Stone Cold's podcast where he talks about Owen Hart a little bit. He loved that dude, and Owen was a great locker room guy.
Yeah,
everybody. It was a horrible tragedy.
It was tough.
Yeah, so
even if it's not your friend, it's just your coworker.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it would be crazy to think that these guys were not affected by this and what had happened earlier in the night. And the controversy, nobody really knows if he pulled the release too early, if it malfunctioned. That was one thing that I did a lot of research trying to find, and it's just there's not a lot out there about it.
Yeah.
His wife did say in the documentary that they had just changed the rigging, because he had been rappelling from the ceiling before. That was with this Blue Blazer superhero gimmick. They had him rappel from the ceiling.
Right.
But they had called the week before or something and said, hey, we need his measurements because we're going to change the rigging system.
Well, and really learning on the remodel on this was the first arena, which in 99 it wasn't still that old, that didn't have the internal structure that most arenas had. I mean, most arenas you went to had poles somewhere or something in your way. So everything that supported this building was on the outside of the building.
Mm-hmm.
So the rafters inside the building were different. So maybe that's why. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point.
It is. And I didn't think about that either. But, yeah, the structure of the building. So, for whatever reason, they decided to change it. And the hook, she actually had the hook, that she got from the police investigation about this, but said it was designed for like a sailboat. It was not a rappelling carabiner. I think was the word she used. Wasn't?
Yeah, it just wasn't meant for what they were trying to do with it, and they were trying to save some money.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, she did. His widow did sue the WWE, and Vince McMahon ended up getting an $18 million settlement. But I can't imagine that really helped.
Yeah,
it may have helped her get some closure.
Yeah,
but I can't imagine losing a close family member, a spouse. He was a father, in a stunt like that.
Yeah, I remember when
how trash is Vince McMahon for not just being there for the wife and all that. Like she asked for just tell me what's going on, and then this poor doctor from Truman that's never met this man or this wife has to be the one that breaks the heartbreaking news. How trash is that for Vince McMahon? I think that's despicable and disgusting, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I think that and Vince McMahon, his relationship with the Hart family wasn't the best at the time because of what had happened with Brett.
A year later,
a couple years earlier, and so a year and a half earlier, whatever it was. But still, I think you're right. I think he should have been the one that said, "Hey, I may not," even if he didn't have all the answers. Hey, I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know I can tell you, that your husband passed away in this tragic accident.
Yeah, I would say definitely should have been more honest what was going on.
Yeah.
But instead, old Vinnie Mac didn't want to be the guy to break the bad news, or he just didn't. He just didn't want to, and so he was going to pass the buck on to somebody else. I give props to McMahon for a lot of things that he does, and I think and he's great in a lot of ways. But he definitely handled this situation wrong. Went a long time ago, and he's kind of a different guy now. I mean, whatever, but definitely handled it wrong, and you definitely get the sense that he didn't want to be the guy to do what.
I'm pretty sure he's still the same guy.
He's the same guy. Old Vinnie Mac.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon.
Oh, yeah. Still doing people trash.
Kind of the next thing that, you guys see that we see on TV is Jeff Jarrett does a promo, which this is cut from the network also. But, I found it, I think, on YouTube. But, he starts off by saying, Owen, I'm praying for you. I mean, this is, again, one of Owen's best friends, and they had just wheeled Owen by him, his lifeless body by him on a on a stretcher.
Yeah.
Just a few minutes before this, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna put the red light on, and you're gonna, be in character, be Jeff Jarrett, and we want you to do this promo and talk about your match coming up."
Yeah, that was. Remember, at that point, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
and everybody's wondering where the Godfather is, and now. Okay, at that time, Deborah's coming out. Okay, cool, puppies,
Yep.
And she had the big breastises. Like, great, cool. we like Deborah.
Yeah.
And so I don't remember much about that match as well, but I was just pissed, Steve. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was mad. I was mad because the Godfather did not come out, and we did not see the hose.
Yeah.
Like,
as a 17-year-old male,
that's all I want to see the hose.
I mean,
sue me.
We're not breaking any news here.
We're not. So, and it was, like, I feel like me now, knowing what happened, like, I feel trash too. Like that's all I cared about, But then again,
you guys didn't know.
Didn't know anything.
Yeah, you didn't know. I mean, literally, like we were talking about before, you guys might have thought it was like a stunt or something kind of goofy or funny or whatever. Because, I mean, even think about, is it earlier? Yeah, it's earlier that year. That Taker throws, it's earlier that year. I think Hell in a Cell,
right?
Maybe it's the earlier that year, 99 or 98.
Yeah.
Taker throws Mankind off the cell. Mankind does get they do the stretcher and everything, and then he actually gets off of it and comes back in. And so the whole stretcher thing was a facade, and it was great, and everybody ate it up, but. You guys didn't know.
We didn't.
So anything
unless you
were
that
way, you guys didn't know.
Unless you were in the front row, a couple of seats back, you would have no idea because you couldn't see. The lights were dim, and our attention was somewhere else. Mm-hmm. We weren't looking at the ring. We were looking at a screen.
Yeah.
So if you saw it, you caught it at the corner of your eye, like most of us did.
The crazy thing is
trash seats.
Do what?
Seats was pretty decent.
Yeah, we had good seats.
I said we didn't have bad seats.
No, we didn't.
We could have easily just, if our attention was more on the ring, could have easily just seen the whole thing play out. But like Marty said,
the only ones that saw it
too busy looking for the hose.
Looking for the hose.
I wasn't. That's Marcus. Let me tell you something. I wasn't too busy. My experience at that time in life is far different than that lame's experience in life.
I know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Most of the ladies were behind you because I went down and found your seat earlier, which no longer exists under the remodel into Hy-Vee Arena. You were section 113, which is right below our studios.
Yeah,
and
I got the tickets.
You row A. So that was the first row of the seating going up.
You guys had good seats.
Yeah, listen,
Whoa,
it's funny too. I'm
big money.
Listen,
big ballers.
And I'm looking at this stub right now, and there's no admission on here. So I don't know if I even won these tickets. I don't know if you can.
No, that's not true. You didn't win those tickets. Those tickets were we definitely bought them. I had a job, and you were privileged.
Oh my God!
That's kind of
black. I was black privilege. Black privilege.
you had two parents.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because it has no admission zero, so I don't remember how much these. But yeah, they were pretty good seats.
I don't know. I don't think they were terribly expensive though. Yeah, this was an age where, like, you know, things didn't cost as much as they do now. So
Yeah.
And, you know, they didn't put all the information on stuff like that.
And I probably paid for your ticket, too, because you were poor, so whatever.
Well,
I wouldn't have went. Section 1, it's 113, 13. I wouldn't have went. I would have had to been in 114 or 115.
Yeah, Jim has a thing with numbers.
Oh, he goes, odd
Wow.
even?
What?
They worked out last year.
Yeah, they did. Jim has a thing with numbers. So
I haven't heard that before. The thing with numbers?
yeah,
Not a fan of the number
Jim's thing with
13.
numbers.
I'm a numbers guy. Remember?
yeah.
Oh, never mind. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, I mean, so yeah, the you can tell kind of on the TV broadcast, you know, that's on the network now. As Jeff Jarrett's coming out, I mean, he almost has a tear in his eye, like, which is understandable. You know, they made the decision, and when I say they, I mean there's one guy that made the decision to continue the show, and we know that's Vince McMahon, right? At the time, he's probably trying to think, well, you know, if we stop the show, then we have to refund all this money. We have, you know,
Yeah.
he's thinking about the financial part of it, not a guy just died. So let's stop the show. Let's tell the live crowd, hey, we're sorry. You know, we'll make it up to you in some way, whether that's another show down the road or whatever. I just, you know, they made the decision to keep going.
But did you hear on the documentary last night, and it made sense, a dude just died. Isn't that a crime scene? Isn't that a potential crime scene now? Like, I mean, like that would never happen now.
No.
And honestly,
it is a potential crime scene because you don't know if it was malfunction of the harness. You don't know if it was rigged. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
That's crazy.
So what were you saying, Steve?
I was just saying, and honestly, if they would have stopped the show and everybody had to leave, and we would have got home and found out that a dude just died, I don't know many people that would have asked for a refund. That seems a bit insensitive and like real asshole-ish. Like I'd have just been like, "Yo,
Yeah.
oh yeah."
I mean, I agree with you. I think, you know, and obviously the people at home, us watching on TV, kind of knew there was an accident, you know, and if they would have said like, hey, you know, Owen Hart's passed away, so we're going to stop the show, and, you know, we would have been out our, you know, $60 or whatever it was. I mean, I know I wouldn't have been, you know, I would have got it. Like, oh, hey, a guy died, so we're going to stop the show. And, you know, you guys are right. Like the crime scene aspect, that's something I hadn't really thought of.
I never even thought about that.
I didn't think about it. Yeah.
You know, but his wife said that last night. Like, so when the Kansas City police came to do their investigation, you know, it's several hours later. There's been 4 more matches in that ring. If somebody did tamper with the rigging system, you know, they would have had time to go back up there and, you know, clean it up or whatever. I mean, not that, you know,
I don't think
know.
so. I mean, I don't think so. I think it was an accident.
Well, I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, but, you know, I think that's why there's no definitive answer, you know, just because. And they showed some police photos from Kansas City, Missouri Police Department in the documentary last night, and, you know, that were taken of the empty arena after everybody had left, and of the rigging up on the catwalk and different things.
I remember, Steve, so when we went back to Kemper for the first SmackDown, which was probably a year and a half later, and we had pretty shitty seats back then, and we were kind of in the rafters, and I remember actually looking up and seeing how high that was, and like he said, when his wife said this, she was like, can you imagine, like, he knew he was going to die. At some point, he was in a free fall, and there was nothing you could do about it. You know, just imagining falling from, I guess they said 8 stories was how.
Yeah, around 70 feet.
You know, that's something to know, like, your life is over and there's nothing you can do about it, you know, and just because he probably pulled the wrong cord or.
Yeah. You know, hit the release valve too early. I mean, you know, who knows? But, yeah, obviously the decision to go on with the show has been much criticized. You know, I think all of